negative, which I would say is a social part of it. No place of our own, no car, no clothes. And for the first time in my life, I experienced, that financial freedom. When I was writing the script for this video, I was thinking, who is going to be the people that are going to be interested in this? So I'll let you know. If you are about to move to the US or are thinking about moving to the US, I think this will be the right video for you because I'm gonna share my personal experience and perspective. To give you a little bit of background, I was born and raised in Cuba, where life is very different. Everyone knows it's a communist country, and the number one reason for me and my mom moving here was because of the lack of economic growth or financial struggle. In what aspects did the US change me? So these are going to be financially, spiritually, socially, health-wise, and education. So let's start with the first one, and I think most important one for me, which is financially. This is something that changed 360 because their prosperity is hard. I mean, you can do something for yourself, but it's going to be really hard because of the lack of infrastructure and resources. So, yeah, basically what you make or what you're capable to make in Cuba, it will just be to cover your most basic need, which is food, and no savings and no investing. Once coming here, I was the one that actually was financially responsible for both of us because my mom at the beginning couldn't get a full-time job. She only had a part-time job on the weekends, so we kind of like switched roles. We had no place of our own, no car, no clothes, nothing. But coming here and like getting a job and earning a decent amount of money, it gave me a sense of freedom, which I loved. The second aspect that changed was the education aspect. Here you have unlimited internet. Back in Cuba, internet is expensive and slow, so you cannot really do a lot. I mean, I used to watch a lot of YouTube before coming here. I was watching a lot of financial channels because I have a passion for personal finance, which I think I'm gonna do videos about in the future on this channel. And I think I said it before. So yeah, I mostly use YouTube for education purposes and also entertainment. When coming here and internet was like more available, I started searching a lot and researching, and I came across this page called Coursera. I love the infrastructure. I love how, I would say, easy it is, just because it's you do it on your own time and you're not restricted by a schedule or lack of internet, like a slow internet, I would say. The course that I'm on right now, it's called Google Career Certificate. It's specialized on data analysis, and also there's so much more. Like even Harvard has free programs that you can do online, small little free courses, and like there's so much information, so much knowledge, and books also. Being able to have access to books, because I think in Cuba you can find a lot of old books and history books, but here's more open. So that is one thing. I was able to enroll in community college, which I passed my last level of English. I did a test that it put me in the last level, so I passed that. And then I took a course on billing and coding because I was seeing if I could get into the medical field, since my mom it's in that area, and I find it interesting, and it was available and it was free. So everything, whatever that is free, that is education, I love it. I take it. Something that I didn't used to do in Cuba, like here I listen to a lot of podcasts, and one that I really love, and it's number one for me, is the Jordan Peterson podcast. I learned so much from listening to his podcast because He touches on a lot of topics and a lot of controversial topics. Okay, the aspect of spirituality is something that changed also, like the financial one, 360 degrees. In Cuba, I used to have my faith that I was a Christian, and I still say it, of course, but I was like a really baby Christian. But coming here, I really wanted to dig deeper into my faith, and here I looked for a church, which I eventually found. I wanted to go to an English speaking church, and also at the moment, I mean, right after church, I started listening to a lot of Jordan Peterson podcast about like the Bible, and the whole like Exodus series and Genesis. And he even, he touches on a lot of topics, but he uses the word of the Bible a lot throughout his podcast as a teaching tool, I guess, because I think there's a lot of wisdom. Definitely, he says it this way, like that book is more durable than stone. After I found my church, a few months later, I got baptized, and that, whoa. Yeah, if you were a Christian and you're watching this, you probably know what I mean. It's not exactly when you get baptized, but it's what happens after. Like the Holy Spirit, if you know what I'm talking about, like grips you and you feel, I don't, yeah. Yeah, I would explain it like you feel, I felt a really strong warmth in my whole body, like mainly in my chest. I felt a lot of love, and I felt a lot of change. Yeah, my mind changed. The way that I was seeing things changed even more. And that was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to see. And till this day, I'm trying to do my best. I think I am, yeah, like I'm far away from perfect. I don't think any of us are like a finished work. We all have a process and a different process, and maybe you're a Christian and you're watching this, and maybe you're in a different part of your own process with God, but just don't give up, because yeah, it is so worth it. And I actually wrote down one of the real changes that I started noticing when my faith and spirituality increased. So I felt at peace and content, with a lot of love to give others. Mentally, I was fresh, my focus was sharp, and my understanding of complicated ideas improved. So maybe we can call this like an enlightenment. My prone to anger was almost zero, which is something that I struggle a lot, because I am prone to anger, even though, you know, I'm not by get angry in here. My communication skills improved also. My compassion towards others increased. Spiritually, I became more sensitive, and what I mean by this is that I became more sensitive to the spiritual world. Yeah. And I craved reading the Bible. Like, they say the Bible is the word of God, and man doesn't live by bread alone. This is kind of what I felt like I needed. That was kind of food, like food for me. I needed my soul needed it. And so yeah, I was craving to read the Bible, understanding it more, and meditating on it and praying. This is a good one. I experienced healing from conditions I was suffering with. Yeah, this means health-wise. Now that we talked so good so far, I think we can go and dive into some negative, which I would say is the social part of it. It is hard to, I would say, make friends and I don't think make friends is that hard, but to continue a friendship or building a community, that's something I have found really difficult. So far, I've met people, but I only have like one or two friends, like close friends, but it's hard to get together. Yeah, it's really hard because you're working a lot and they're also working, they also have a life, and the free time that they have, it's really, I think it's really hard to manage it. And the free days that they may have and the free days that you may have, they might be different. But so far, I am grateful for the people that I have met, and I won't let myself have the excuse because, oh, it's US is hard for making friends and building a community, because I think you can actually, because I think by working on it, I will eventually reach the point where maybe I found my little tribe, yeah, of people. Okay, health wise, and this is the final aspect, and I think I'll have to say this is half and half. Like, it has a good side and then a bad side. I'll tell you first the bad side, which is, I think, result of entering to the workforce and working a lot. Because back in Cuba, I was a freelancer, so this means that I controlled my time and I work only as much as I wanted to. But coming here and coming in a non-conventional way and not really having the support system, I had to work hard. So this means I had to get a full-time job, which is totally fine, and it had made me grow a lot, and it has made me really independent. But it comes with a lot of stress because the work environment here, I would say, is not the same. I'm comparing this to a 3 month summer job that I have as a waitress slash cashier in Cuba, which, yes, it was stressful and it was a lot of work, but here it's different. It hits differently. I started experiencing really bad headaches. It started like my vision, it blurs a lot. It's like almost like I see white for a moment and then it fades away and a really bad headache hits. Like I cannot even stand. My eyes drop and I'm like this, and I just want to lay down. My head is like hurting a lot. And I spent like a few hours like that, and I feel like I'm always like I'm about to faint, or I want to, like I feel like I'm going to be sick. And yeah, those episodes happened and it worried my mom. Also, I was eating a lot of sugar because in Cuba you don't have access to a lot of candy, and if you have, it's really expensive, and you shouldn't spend your money on crappy food. You should really try to spend your money on the foods that are actually going to be healthy for you. So yeah, coming here, you have a lot of snacks. You have stores filled up with really yummy things, and I wanted to try everything. A lot of chocolate. This is something really funny because I tell it to everyone, and my mom also says it, that I had like a drawer filled with candy. Yeah. I almost got onto a pre-diabetes state with my sugar in blood because we did a test, and right after I started, like my mom was like, you need to delete the sugar from your diet, and like you cannot eat so much sweets, you're gonna become diabetes. Because actually my grandma and my dad, they have type 2 diabetes, so my mom is always like really worried about this. And yeah, I should take good care of what I put in my body because of this genetic aspect that I have with my grandma and my dad. So after that, we bought like the little thingy to poke my finger and put the blood and measure the glucose and blood and all that, and it's good for now. Sometimes it goes a little bit high because I still love sweets and I still love chocolate. But yeah, that's health-wise. But the positive side is that here, yes, you have a lot of junk food, processed food, but you also have good foods. You have foods that you don't have in Cuba. Like, you have amazing fruits. Like, I never had kiwi in my life, or I never had strawberries. Yeah, I tried there, but it's like frozen ones. They're not the natural strawberries. They're weird ones. But here you have the actual fruit, and so many yummy things. Like, I love almonds, hazelnuts, pistachios. Yeah, I love it. So yeah, you have options for eating healthy. In Cuba, you only have just one thing. You don't have a very abundant diet or a lot of things that you can choose from. I use this app called Yuka. A friend of mine, he's actually from Ukraine, presented it to me, and I use it now all the time. To you scan it, the products in the store, and it tells you like if it's good, if it's what the percentages, and how much additives it has. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, please let me know if you have any questions, if you want to know more, maybe some things that I didn't mention here that you think that I could be able to answer. And yeah, I'm excited. See you on the next one.